I don't know if people, especially those in New York City, really need an introduction to Les Bernardin. For those who don't know, it's a landmark in the biggest city in the northeastern part of the United States. Traditionally French, this restaurant specializes in seafood. Therefore, while other ingredients are used in the dish, the seafood will always be the main attraction. Do you want to know more about this New York establishment? So without ado, let's talk about some of the things that make Les Bernardin such a renowned and respected restaurant. Number 1. Long history. In an industry that's notorious for short lifespans, Les Bernardin's 50th anniversary is noteworthy. While businesses often become obsolete as years go by, the legendary establishment is hotter than ever before. Les Bernardin's perseverance does, in fact, give one hope that good things can last, although it's quite uncommon nowadays. It all began when the Lecaux siblings launched Les Bernardin on Paris's left bank in 1972. Then in 1986, they both opened another restaurant in Midtown Manhattan, bringing it stateside. Since then, the well-earned honors have begun to come in, such as 3 Michelin stars, numerous James Beard Awards, and a regular spot among the world's 50 best restaurants. I guessed it lasted, McGuire-Lecaux remarks. For the past 50 years, the New York restaurant has continued to grow because of its excellence. Hopefully, the Les Bernardin family will always be driven by the same enthusiasm for the highest caliber seafood, service, and inventiveness that Gilbert and Maguire had when they first opened the doors in Paris in 1972. Overall, Les Bernardin is the only American restaurant to have maintained an impeccable reputation among critics for such a long time. Not a lot of dining establishments on this planet can compare to this one's size, adaptability, and atmosphere. Diners can stay for an extended meal or just stop in for a quick bite ahead of a Broadway performance. Further, know that there are no wrong ways to enjoy Les Bernardin. The chef's tasting menu is the best option if you can secure a reservation here. You'll go on an adventure of the tastiest cuisine, featuring seafood that's practically raw and barely touched by the heat. Another excellent choice if you're searching for something less heavy is the prix-fixe lunch. Number 2. Top-notch dishes. Though we've already discussed the Les Bernardin menu, what are the standout dishes on the menu? Try the salmon if you want to know why it's still one of the most exciting restaurants in the city. If you're up for an adventure, try ordering it uncooked with Moroccan spices as it melts on your tongue. A variety of warming, musky spice notes will emerge. Of course, you can order it seared. This order will get you slices of sea trout cooked with a spice blend from northern India, giving it a red hue. But be careful, when you poke the meat, it'll fall apart. It drips fat, leaving a velvety slick around the mouth. Meanwhile, a roasted tomato dice provides a sharp piquancy and an acidic counterpoint. You can also order it as a pot au feu. Like Wagyu, the majestic fish will be treated delicately. A chef will warm the fish for a brief period in a small amount of water. Tableside, a waiter encircles it with a bowl of soup made from veal and beef before splashing it with black truffle butter. A thin layer of well-done meat acts as a contrast to the sluggish pink fillet. Les Bernardin is obviously about more than just salmon. Consider the geoduck, a mainstay in a lot of Cantonese seafood restaurants. Here it's sliced into paper-thin rounds and served simply with a few chunks of jalapeno. The mollusk explodes with a sweetness reminiscent of scallops. Then the chili shocks the palate with an intense, puckering kick of capsaicin. Dessert is where Les Bernardin lets its playful side come out. Try the citrus. Just as it says on the menu, it's a tower of meringue with a dollop of cream on the very top and an unexpected delight inside. Crisp and clean with a pleasant bitterness to offset the sweetness, the kitchen staff simply burned it with a torch. What a delicious way to end things. Number 3. Impeccable service. Every task carried out by Les Bernardin is executed to perfection. Like the top French restaurants, you'll receive refined service, starting with a friendly greeting. Whether you're returning or not, the hosts know that this is an extravagant meal for the guests. You can see everyone presents themselves in a favorable light, showing that they too are treated with respect. The dress code here can be a bit intimidating though. Even guests who abide by the jackets required policy may still question if they ought to have worn a tux. Pots of sauce are hurriedly carried by waiters to tables, A team of mostly female sommeliers glides across the place with lightweight silver shallow cups employed to verify the clarity and hue of the wine. Don't be surprised if you see the waitstaff at Le Bernardin occasionally adheres to a bygone formality that falls behind the standards of contemporary meal service. The honorifics Monsieur and Madame may be used by staff members so frequently that you could almost expect a candelabra to go with the desserts. In addition to providing delicious food, the restaurant offers a wide selection of beverages. Supervised by the one and only Aldo Somme, the wine list is a work of art. However, all the amiable sommeliers are pleased to suggest wines by the glass, many of which cost $20. While it is a possibility, it's not expected that you jump right into the expensive wine pool. Number 4. World-class chef. In 1994, the restaurant saw the untimely death of Gilberte Lacaze. Using her strength and resources, Magai started collaborating with a close friend, Chef Eric Rippert, who took on leadership of the kitchen to carry on Gilbert's legacy. Since then, they've collaborated closely, and neither pandemics nor economic downturns have halted the restaurant's development. You may not know much about the renowned chef Eric Rippert. His culinary abilities were honed in France, where he was born. At a young age, his grandmother started teaching him how to cook. He enrolled in cooking school in the southern French city of Perpignan. He then moved to Paris to work at La Tour d'Argent, one of the most renowned restaurants in the city. While employed at the 3-star Michelin Jamin restaurant, Rippert received a call to duty in the French Armed Forces. After completing his duty in the military, he landed in America in the late 1980s. His first job was as an in-house chef at the Watergate Hotel in Washington, D.C. Rippert shifted to New York City 3 years later in 1992. When Rippert started at La Bernardin, he was just 29 years old, but he developed into a skilled chef very fast. Apart from the numerous 4-star reviews from the New York Times and other publications, Rippert has also won awards from the James Beard Foundation, the Michelin Guide, and the Zagat Guide, suggesting his great talent and commitment. Number 5. Exquisite Interior. Before the 25-year lease renewal came up, the restaurant was never renovated. Bentel & Bentel, a family-run business whose portfolio includes the Modern and Gramercy Tavern, was awarded the project. The firm thankfully managed to create a setting that was both sophisticated and welcoming to its devoted customer base. The project started with changing the whole layout. The company converted the bar area into a lounge with 36 seats by rearranging the coat closet and restructuring the entry. Then it loosened up the space by dividing it into 2 sections. To accommodate a wider range of clients, one is more casual while the other remains formal. But the remodeling project hardly made it to the ceiling. The reason for this is that the restaurant's owners believe it to be the one thing that can connect the past and present. The only thing they changed to make the entire area look like a contemporary ship was to remove all of the chandeliers and replace them with built-in lights and candles. Subsequently, the company incorporated sophisticated, peaceful, and cozy elements into the area. For example, twisted aluminum fins are now used in the screens and lighting. The lounge is now shaped like a social gathering place. In addition, Chanel wall covering, teak partitions, and leather upholstery are used to create coziness. The takeaway. Le Bernardin has attained the highest accolade a restaurant can get, a 3 Michelin star rating. And thanks to its exquisite lighting and rather amazing tablecloths, it's also easy to see the thing that makes it so unique. Yes, the interior design is just as exquisite as the dining experience. Nonetheless, nothing about their efforts, especially the food, ever felt too hard. After drooling over that mouth-watering experience regarding Le Bernardin, it's time to trade in your napkins for bathrobes and your dining chairs for deluxe mattresses. Check out 10 of the best hotels situated in New York City by simply clicking on the video in the top right corner. See you in the next video.